Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Monday, the 30th of July. Starting off with Angus Energy, who I interviewed a couple of times in the recent past. Broken through this resistance line here from the end of November, nominally at 7.5 pence, bounced off that as new support. So hopefully we will hit or move towards the 200-day moving average now at 10.5 pence as the next target. Obviously, that would be a falling wedge. Well, this is an ongoing falling wedge breakout. Just we have to see how far it goes. Stock which is a bit of a joker in the pack as far as today's heroes are concerned, just because there's hardly any charting data. But this looks like to me a exhaustion gap reversal with the move higher. Today we just need to break above 3.9 pence to give us the confirmation of the turnaround. Two gaps on the downside, and then the turnaround and filling the first gap now. If obviously that doesn't make any sense to you, maybe wait a little bit longer on this, but it just looks like an early bird situation of interest. Stock which is definitely not an early bird situation at the moment is Bushveld Minerals, where we've had a rally for quite some time. What's interesting at the moment is this 25 pence area. We need a daily or weekly close above that to give us the big target here, which is the top of last year's trend channel as high as 43 pence. Stop loss here at the moment, an end of day close back below the 50-day moving average at 20.78 pence. But the main thing here really is to wait on that break of 25 pence. Great Western Mining, the next contender. And the reason we're including this on a technical basis, if I can get the ticker code right, is that we're looking at a situation where we've had the gap down, rather vicious gap down there for the shares at the turn of the month, but the turnaround here has been above the 200-day moving average. That's at 1.09 pence. The lowest we went to is 1.1. Normally a bullish sign if the stock is too strong to require testing a major moving average. End of day close above the 50-day moving average could take the stock back up to 2 pence. Minoan, lots of expectation here at the moment. The reason for the excitement on a charting basis is it looks as though we're at the top of a falling wedge at 5.8 pence nominally and the 50-day moving average. So end of day close above 5.8 towards 6 pence should be enough to spike the shares back up towards the 8 pence resistance of April. Here we had the gap higher in March, filling the gap for July and then up. So that does look relatively encouraging. The most talked about stock at the moment on the bulletin boards appears to be Mosman, where we've had a gap to the upside above the 50-day moving average. It's also an island bottom formation as well, which is another buy sort of signal in terms of the charting pattern. I want to see probably an end of day close above the 200-day moving average at 0.79. We failed above it earlier in the month, so that is the key, I think, at the moment to get that and prove to the cynics or the doubters that the shares can go higher up to the potential top of this broadening triangle shape at 1.4 pence from November. Stock to be looking out for as well is NTOG, Nostra, Terra. Here we've had two decent candles above the 50-day moving average at 3.79 pence, holding above that, and especially above 4 pence, looking for a 7.5 pence target at the top of a rising November trend channel time frame on that the next month or two. New oil and gas also looking encouraging with the break of the falling wedge earlier this month around 0.8 pence level. While we're above that, really looking for, or we were looking for, initial 200-day moving average target at 0.99, but we are hoping for a 1.3 pence target, which is the main post-March resistance, while we hold above 0.8 pence. Hero stock of last week was Redt Energy. Really did the falling wedge fans proud with the gap through both the top of the wedge and the 50-day moving average, and that's the third day of a very powerful looking push here there on the daily chart.
The level to watch now, 7.71 pence, which was the old May resistance. Above that, we're looking for 11 pence. The last November peak as a best case scenario target. Obviously, the RSI at 85 very overbought, but this does look like a situation of particular strength at the moment. Been a long wait for Reabold Resources, with the shares trying to make it through 0.8 pence today. So far they haven't made it, but we want an end of day or a weekly close above that. Seems to be a lot of resistance at the 0.8 pence level, so well worth waiting for the shares to close above 0.8 or even higher before getting involved there. Even actually could be 0.9 if you are cautious on the shares. Maybe not so much reason for caution as far as Thor Mining is concerned. I believe there was good news overnight. Looked at this again, and it does actually look like a decent falling wedge breakout mid-month through the 50-day moving average at 1.91 pence, breaking above the rising 200-day line at 2.33 pence now, which is encouraging. And really, we're looking for 4.5 pence on any weekly close above 2.5 pence, end-of-day close above 2.5 if you are an aggressive trader. Finishing off this rather large collection of prospects with Zanaga iron ore. Here we've had the breakthrough, this symmetrical triangle. I suppose that's 13 pence, the key level there. Good momentum here today, above 14 pence, looking for a minimum of 18 pence, and then on to that old November peak as high as 24. That's it from me. More updates at the same time tomorrow.